Good morning. My name is Michelle Derby, and I'm coming to you from beautiful Loudoun County, Virginia. And today we're going to talk about a plant-based recipe. I'll be making black bean sliders and a mango salsa, which is inspired by a recipe that you can find on the 21-day vegan Kickstart app from PCRM. So the first thing that we're going to start with is a half a cup of salsa. I prefer salsa fresca because I just think it has a little bit nicer flavor. You can also use jarred. You're just going to want to look for something that is low sodium. And the same with your beans. We're going to use 2 cans of black beans, preferably organic. Definitely want to look for low sodium, and you absolutely want to make sure you rinse your beans to get as much of that extra sodium off of them as possible. So 2 cans of black beans go in. Next, we have our spices. We have 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of ground chili powder. Look for a salt-free version. A 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of smoked paprika, and a grind of fresh pepper, which helps to combine with the turmeric and bring out its healing properties. So all those spices go in, and you're just going to pulse that briefly with the food processor. And once you have pulsed it a couple of times, you just want it to come together. You don't want it to become a paste. Then you're going to add 1 cup of breadcrumbs. Now, I'm using white panko because this is the only thing that I had. I think our supply these days with the pandemic is a little bit limited. But the good thing to keep in mind is that 1 serving of black beans already has almost 8 grams of fiber and almost 8 grams of protein. So using some white breadcrumbs is acceptable in this recipe, but again, look for the whole grain if you can find it. So this would go in, and then we add a 1/4 cup or a little bit more of sliced green onions. My family really likes green onions, so we're adding a little bit more. You'll combine all of that using a 1/8 cup measure to scoop out balls, roll them into balls, and then flatten them into patties. The patties will then go into some extra breadcrumbs. So you'll have little patties that look like this that go into the breadcrumbs. Those will then go on a cookie sheet and go into the refrigerator for about 30 to 45 minutes to help them set up. You don't want to skip that step because that is what helps them hold their shape as you're cooking them. You can cook them in a nonstick pan, or the way I prefer to do it is 375 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes. Flip them halfway through. You don't want them to burn. You'll be left with something that looks like this. So then we're going to make a mango salsa. And you will chop and combine 1 mango, a 1/4 cup of red bell pepper, a 1/4 cup or a 1/2 cup of fresh or canned pineapple. You do want to drain it. A 1/4 cup of finely diced red onion, some fresh oregano to taste, and I like to add a couple scrapes of fresh ginger to kind of give it more of that Caribbean taste. That's optional. If you never use fresh ginger, I would say go slowly with this, just a little bit at a time. So you combine all those ingredients, and you will have a beautiful mango and pineapple salsa when you're done. What I like to do with these sliders is they're great for a potluck, for a barbecue, anything like that. But what I really like to do with them is use them for breakfast. So I tuck them into a whole grain pita, and then I add some fresh greens, and I add the mango salsa. I can eat it at my desk at work. That way I've started my day off with a very high fiber filling breakfast, which will help me make better choices throughout the day. So today we made this recipe. Last week we made a shaved Brussels sprout salad with pumpkin seeds and shredded lemon zest, which would also pair nicely with this for a lunch. Next week we'll be making a vegan plant-based pupusa recipe. Rather than using oil and meat and cheese, we'll be using a plant-based potato cheese recipe and refried beans, which is a bean recipe, which is actually from this book from the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I look forward to talking with you again soon.